Hello, here is a new version of how to draw an isometric for the holder. First of all, our isometric needs to fit in this area, and there appears to not be enough space. So the first thing we need to do is scale our drawing to a larger size. So pick this command here called scale. You're going to select the parts of your title block, and select those parts of the title block only. You will select objects from right to left, which is a dashed green box to select everything a lot easier. After you select objects, the way the command works is this. It's 3 steps. You just finished the first step. So click enter. The base point is a point on your drawing. We are not going to pick the lower left corner of our title block. Instead, we are going to pick the lower left corner of our drawing area, which would be right here. Endpoint is on, selected. Now it's time for step 3. Step 3 is to select or enter the scale factor. You can't see the pop-up menu, but just type in 2, and the scale factor, as you can see, is active, and hit enter. Now our title block is scaled twice as large, and we have more space up here for us to do our drawings. Update your title block, the date, and everything else, and it'll look like this. Holder isometric, and this will be Lesson1B. These lines will be removed. And we're going to draw the isometric for this drawing, and I need to explain why you see so many dimensions on here based on what the original drawing was. When you're drawing an isometric, you need more information, so it's easy to add dimensions for all the little details that you'll need to be drawing later on. All these little line lengths that you see throughout. Do a file save as and rename the file Lesson1B. Lesson1B is the isometric. Lesson1A is the orthographic. Now that you have saved your work, we can begin. The first thing you need to do is change your drawing settings to draw from orthographic to isometric. To do that, we're going to use some toggle buttons down here. One of the toggle buttons is called Grid Display. For Grid Display, I want you to right click and choose Settings. Switch to Isometric Snap, and now we're going to be drawing isometrically. Click OK, and look at your cursor. It has changed its orientation. Do this after you have dimensioned your object. We're going to keep ortho mode on. We're not going to use polar. Object snap names we're going to need are the following: endpoint, midpoint, intersection, and perpendicular. Activate those. Click OK. This cursor that you see can be changed by using the function keys on your keyboard. The function 5 key, or F5. As you're moving your mouse slowly, hit F5 and you'll see the cursor change directions in 3 ways. That's intended to help you draw an isometric. The F5 key. As a quick review, this right here is your dynamic input. That's the information you see as you're drawing. If you take it off, when you draw lines, you will not see any information. This of course controls your line weights, and we're going to leave them on. I've already drawn a part of the box, and this is the process in which you draw. You have to draw the object according to its width, height, and depth. The width is 4.5, the height is 2 1/4, and the depth is 2 1/4. You draw this as a box first, and you're going to work from here. You're going to be using ortho, line command, and the function 5 key to rotate your cursor as you draw in different directions. I measured these 3 to show you the relationship between. The colors are referring to features in the video you're about to see. This is going to be drawn in steps. The first step is to draw the box. The second step is to draw features from the top view, which are in yellow here, which you see right here. Well, I'm going to get everything yellow, but you get the idea. The next step is to draw any lines that are going down. which happens to be measured from the front view and the side view, 1 1/8, 1 1/2. The next step is to draw lines in these directions. And finally, you add the little details that you see here, that the 3/8 is measured on the front view of the block. So I could leave this to you to draw, and I'll review again the steps. Draw a box. Draw the details from the front view with ortho on, drawing lines. Draw vertical lines. I'm using color, you don't need to, of course. Draw more horizontal lines. I would have to change the function 5 key in this direction to do that. And the F5 key in this direction to do that. And finally, here's a tip to get lines like this, or to use the trim command to simplify drawing with isometrics. Let me back up a few steps to demonstrate what I mean. With the line command on, I need to draw lines going this way. Sometimes I can snap easily, like you see here. Sometimes I could just point, and this is going to be 2 1/4 to get the distance I need. Or sometimes I could draw it longer than I need to, and just use the trim command to remove the part of the lines I don't need, as you see there. For example, in this area here, those are overlapping. I'll just use the trim command to remove what I don't need. Another one has to do with here, getting this yellow line. Starting from here, I would use the line command. I can see I'm going in the wrong direction, so I'll hit the F5 key, point in this direction, go past the blue line, and then use the trim command. Hit enter, of course, and pick what I don't want. When you're drawing lines that are overlapping other lines in isometrics, sometimes your object snaps will be on. See that? And you'll pick them by mistake, and it's going to drive you crazy. So as you draw lines, zoom in so that you're not touching anything with your cursor as you click. That'll help you avoid snapping to lines you didn't intend to, as I demonstrated there. Okay, well, good luck.